Hello and welcome back to another episode of Generation Ochi. My name is American Ben. Sweet Home. I did it. I watched it, and now it's time to decipher its super secret messages. And I've got to make this quick so I can go back and finish reading Emily Hayes' comment on my Alice in Borderland video. I've had to break it up into parts just to get through it. Just kidding, Emily. I read the whole comment, and it was really insightful and well written. Nice, Emily, and thanks to all of you for the thoughtful comments you've left on my videos. Between this new channel and my other one, I receive a lot of comments per day, and I don't have time to respond to them all, but I do try to read them. And I've really enjoyed what the subscribers to this channel have had to say thus far. The comments have been sincere, intelligent, and sensitive. Anyway, spoiler alert, my friends, I'll try to share as few critical plot points as possible, but no promises. But first, you know I gotta take some time out to offer a warning as to the content to follow. Please, if you are someone who is not in a great place right now or who is easily influenced by negative images and ideas, then listen, please tune out. It breaks my heart to say that because I feel for you and you're probably most likely to connect with what I'm gonna have to say about Sweet Home. But it doesn't matter, this video ain't gonna do you well. Please do stay subscribed though, heck, maybe even offer a recommendation for a movie or show I should cover in the comments below, preferably something happy and bright. Okay, now back to Sweet Home. By the way, this is not going to be a general review. I'll release one of those on my big channel Generation Films in order to draw people over here. So if you want to see my general thoughts on it, I'll include them in that video, which I'll release in a few days. But here, you know we gotta get deeper, my friends. Now, I'm sure that when I mentioned super secret messages before, many of you expected me to get into a discussion about how the humans in the show turn into monsters that reflect their hidden desires. I would be a cookie monster. And yeah, there is some thematic stuff to explore there, but honestly, while the webtoon might have emphasized this aspect a bit more, to me, the live-action show did not. The hidden desire thing wasn't really thoroughly explored. Instead, the show focused on two central themes. One, who are the real monsters? And two, despair. Today I want to discuss that latter theme, and if you enjoyed this video, I'll do another one on the former. Both are equally important to the show and deserve their own dedicated video. The reason I want to start with despair is twofold. Yes, two again, always two with me. Number one, the show introduces this theme very early on, and two, despair is what links Sweet Home with Alice in Borderland. No, I mean both shows directly address despair.
君はこの絶望しかない世界でどう生きる?
너 우연히 검색하다가 들어간 블로그 했어요.
무슨 내용이 있었는데?
절망이요.
뭐?
이건 저주래요.
And portray worlds rife with it. I believe I mentioned despair in all three videos I did on Alice in Borderland. Hey, 3. Where the two shows differ is that Alice is about characters who let go of their humanity amidst despair, and Sweet Home is about characters who try desperately to hold on to their humanity amidst despair. And here maybe we're previewing a little bit of the Who's the Real Monster video we'll do next. So I explained in the Alice in Borderland videos I did that despair is ubiquitous in its world, both in real Tokyo and the parallel one. The characters in that show are trapped between two realities, neither of which offer a reprieve from the brutality and madness of life. Well, in Sweet Home, we see the characters attempt to confront this despair, grin and bear it even as it worsens. Well, before the events that begin Sweet Home, all of the characters who live at Green Home are already faced with various seemingly irreconcilable troubles. The main character, Cha Yoon-soo. Oh, by the way, let me pre-apologize now for my terrible pronunciations in this video. If you're South Korean and watching this video, please do feel free to criticize me harshly in the comments below. Maybe even throw in a personal insult or two, you know, something about my face maybe, make it hurt. Anyway, the main character, Cha Yoon-soo, was bullied mercilessly back in high school, his parents died in a car crash, and he's suicidal. The fiancé of So Yi-kyung, the firefighter, disappeared under mysterious circumstances. Well, I suppose it's difficult to disappear and not have it be under mysterious circumstances, but I digress. Anyway, then we have An Gil-sub, who's terminally ill. There's Han Do-sik, who's wheelchair-bound. There's An Sun-young, who is subject to constant physical and emotional abuse by her husband, and so on. Every character is dealing with something. And now, despite all of their hardships, they're all of a sudden thrust into a world filled with hellish demons and beasts.
30년을 버티면서 살았어. 그깟 아무것도 아니야.
One obstacle just piles on top of the next for these mostly decent people. And there's nothing fair about that. But that's how the universe is. It's indifferent to your suffering. What makes good people different is that they don't suffer or get rewarded by nature more than bad people do. What makes them different is that they maintain their humanity despite their suffering. The characters do question whether just letting go and becoming the monster would be easier.
오늘도 악몽을 꾼다. 머릿속의 괴물이 모두 내 탓이라고. 어쩌면 괴물이 되어버리는 게 나을지도 모른다.
Hey, have you ever said to yourself at a low moment, I'm just not gonna care anymore. I'm just gonna walk around like I don't give an F. Well, that's a small step towards letting the monster go free, and we all have those moments. The question is, in the end, despite being knocked down again and again, do we pick ourselves back up and hold on to our essence? And hey, I know that this is easier said than done sometimes. At one point, the show openly questions what would happen in the event of an apocalypse. Would humans evolve into something else in order to survive or remain human?
인간은 또 다른 진화를 택할까? 아니면 인간으로 남을까?
This is the crux of the show's message right here. When tested with dire situations, when filled with fear and threatened with death, can humans restrain the beast within? Hell, some of us miss breakfast and the beast within emerges. You know who you are. The characters in the show, the humans in the show rather, slowly learn to maintain their humanity through despair. When the group finds out that Hyun-soo is infected, they take a poll via secret ballot on whether to exile him or not, and the vote ends in a tie. However, later, when An Sun-young reveals her infection, they vote to let her stay, not wanting to be complicit in her death. Throughout the show, the characters openly remind each other not to do bad things, not to lose their care for others or treat the infected inhumanely. And we will talk about this in the next video as well, but while sometimes this might lead to seemingly risky decisions, it's this type of compassion that makes us human and separates us from beasts. The characters, as we all do, seem to just have this sense that there's something about just being alive.
그래도 우리는 살아 있습니다. 이 절망을 이겨낼 순 없을 겁니다. 그래도 반드시 끝은 있습니다.
That counts for something. That holds meaning. And so despite all of the despair, they're willing to press on. See, it's not as much of a choice as we like to think. It's human nature to survive. And though we think we can't go on sometimes, we just do. We adapt, get stronger, and keep going. As our circumstances get worse, we get used to greater and greater hardship. We need less to be happy. There's this really brilliant point in the show in which the group is gathered around An Gil-sub as he tells war stories, and they're visibly tense and scared, all the while there's monsters all around them in the real world. This might seem ridiculous, but I could imagine humans actually doing this. They're used to their surroundings, they've adapted, and now they're going on with life as humans do, despite the despair just piling up. They still need entertainment and camaraderie to feel alive. There's another point when Eun-yu brings the weeping Jisoo some chocolate, and Ferrero Rocher nonetheless. Now, Eun-yu might be mean, I mean, she's so mean, but she has good taste. Anyway, this is another simple moment in the show that actually means so much. First, Jisoo is crying because someone she cared about died, which, yes, sucks, but Jisoo's tears are a powerful token of her humanity. She's experienced so much death and darkness recently, and yet she is still soft inside. She's still affected by loss. And while she might be suffering in this moment, her pain means that she is still herself. Then, in showing Jisoo kindness, Eun-yu displays that her humanity has lived on as well. She still cares, despite everything she's been through, and that's a beautiful thing, even if the chocolate isn't going to kill monsters. And hey, maybe it can cheer Jisoo up for a few moments. That's what life is all about, finding joy in chocolate. I mean, finding joy in small moments here and there. Now, I'd like you to ask yourself, isn't being trapped in the green home apartments, unable to escape all these monsters and all this despair, a lot like what being locked away in your mind feels like when it's bringing you down? Yeah, that's how I kind of see the metaphor of Sweet Home. The monsters and the voices leading us to lose ourselves to monsterization are all right here, and we have to constantly hold them back. Now, I said earlier that this show is targeting a certain audience, and I really believe that's true. I imagine that it appeals to people in the 18 to 30 range more than anyone else, really. I say this because it's often people at this age who are recently risen from adolescence into adulthood and who are first experiencing the true nature of the world outside of their hometown bubbles. And surprise, it's filled with a lot of emptiness and brutality and suffering. And it's in these times that we tend to lose ourselves a bit. So if you're in this demo or somewhere around it and you find yourself connecting with this show, this might be why. It's cathartic for you because it represents the painful truth of reality. And you're a decent person because you recognize this truth and you don't like it. That's why you enjoy this show. The thing is, reality is not as bleak as you think it is right now. There's plenty of good to go with the bad. And as the show portrays, there's people out there who will help you, even at great cost to themselves. So the trick then is to make it through all of the troubled thoughts one faces in young adulthood without becoming the monster. So that you might arrive on the other side of it all, able to see the world as a complicated but rather okay place. That still, yes, needs a lot more progress. That is the video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below. I cannot wait to read your thoughts. Definitely feel free to disagree with me, agree with me, whatever you'd like. Just comment down below. Subscribe to this channel, please. We're trying to build it up. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. For now, my name is American Ben. I'll catch you next time. Generation Ochi, peace.